Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IndieZone. My name is Kathy. On October 9th, 2024, Judge Stephen Hippler entered an order that is essentially the pretrial and trial order that provides blueprint for key events in the case through trial, which is currently scheduled for the summer of 2025. It is referred to as the redacted order governing further criminal proceedings and notice of trial setting. You can find it on the public docket, October 9th, 2024, with that title. There is a mystery, it appears, surrounding the jury questionnaire. That is the redacted portion that's referenced in the title of this order. If you go to Section A, page 1, under voir dire and trial setting, you'll see jury questionnaire will be administered approximately, and then there's a large redacted statement here, 2025. So we know here that the jury questionnaire will be administered to the potential members of the jury panel, the pool, approximately 2025. We just don't know the date. What is a jury questionnaire? Well, this is a jury trial that is scheduled to commence. I argue that it is effectively July 30th, 2025 is the official start of the trial, because that's when voir dire happens. And this questionnaire is critical for voir dire. Voir dire is when the members of the pool that are required to report for jury duty at the courthouse and who come to the courthouse will be questioned by both sides to determine if they're appropriate panel members. Remember, this is not a bench trial. This is a jury trial. So the selection of the jury is critical. What do you typically see? What's the purpose of the questionnaire? It's to determine if a particular panel member is appropriate to sit on this type of a case. Remember, this is a capital case. There are 5 first-degree felonies that Mr. Kohberger has been charged with. A lot of different issues that it appears will possibly be raised at trial of this case. A lot of things are under seal, of course, but it does appear that there's going to be a very vigorous defense that will be raised. Defendant does not need to raise any defense, but the way that things have gone in this case, I am giving the opinion that I believe the defense will put on a defense at trial. So the purpose of this questionnaire is to help both sides determine if a particular person who reports for jury duty is appropriate to serve on the case. And what type of questions might you see on the questionnaire? One might be, are you involved in any law-related groups? Are you a member of law enforcement? Is any close family member a member of law enforcement? That might be a question that the defense would want to know. Have you ever been a victim of a crime? Might be another question that's on this questionnaire. Just by way of example, we of course don't know. What is your opinion of the DP? If someone says, I don't believe that the DP should ever be administered because of my religious background, and I could never vote for someone to be sent to the death chamber, that might be a person that the state would want to strike, because we know that the state has filed an intention to seek the DP if Mr. Kohberger is convicted at trial. So these are the types of questions, just samples that you might see on a questionnaire. Sometimes the state or the defense or both might solicit the services of a jury consultant to help them prepare questions and may also be there in the courtroom when voir dire happens. And voir dire, again, is the process of jury selection. So we go back to this question. Jury questionnaire will be administered approximately, redacted, sometime in 2025, which is just a couple of days away from now. We can, if we go further on into this order, make an educated guess as to when it will be administered by looking at Section D, Trial Materials. It says here the proposed jury questionnaires shall be simultaneously filed under seal by March 24th, 2025. What does that mean? Both sides on that day or before are going to submit to the court what they feel the questions on the questionnaire should be. Objections to the other side's proposed questions are then due March 31st, 2025. Then Judge Hippler has already set a hearing that will be sealed and closed on the proposed jury questionnaires to be held on April 16th, 2025, and then he has to make a ruling that will likely also be under seal as to what those questionnaires will be inclusive of. So we can make a very strong, educated guess that these questionnaires will not be administered until likely the earliest possible time, the beginning of May 2025. If we just apply some common sense that it's going to take the court a little bit of time to review whatever has been submitted, any objections, and then an oral argument at this hearing, whatever any final word both sides have to say as to what that questionnaire should include. This will now conclude this episode of the IndieZone here on YouTube. Thank you as always for joining us here today.